Tibet, sometimes called the roof of the world, a place where 6,000-meter mountains look like small hills, a land of silence, thin air, and mystery, like nowhere else on Earth. Up here, the air can actually make you sick, and if it does, there's nowhere lower to escape. Home to the Himalayas, the highest mountains on Earth, including Mount Everest itself. And for 10 days, we traveled across it, from ancient temples to Everest Base Camp to some of the most remote nature I have ever seen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tibet. Today, the adventure to Tibet officially begins. We are now at Xining Airport in Qinghai province, from where we will fly in about 2 hours to Tibet's capital, Lhasa. As you may know, Tibet is the most restricted province in China, and to even enter, you need to have this kind of special permit, which takes 4 weeks to issue, and it can be only issued by a local Chinese tour agency, which means that in Tibet you cannot travel on your own, and it's the only place where you have to travel with a guide at all times. So from the moment we land, there will be someone waiting for us, and for the entire trip we will be traveling together. We have officially arrived to Lhasa, Tibet. Tashidele. This is our guide for the following 10 days. As they say, Tashidele, and let the adventure begin. This is oxygen.
Yeah, oxygen cylinder.
Oxygen, because already now we are at 3,600 meters above sea level, and it's gonna get only worse.
3 at once?
Yeah, true.
3?
Yeah, 3.
So we should take now, or it's only in case we feel something, or it's as prevention?
Yeah, prevention. Yeah.
Okay.
Prevention.
Now it's 3,600 meters, and in a few days we will be at 5,500. So the body's not used to that, and it has to adapt slowly. Directly from Lhasa, we drove for about an hour and a half to the third largest city in Tibet. Interesting signs along the way, but soon enough we made it to Tsedang. We got to the third largest city in Tibet called Tsedang, and it seems to be quite big, kind of surprising. And now, first things first, because it's already dinner time, we're gonna get some local dinner. Okay, so what should we do?
Okay, there are two different soups.
Soup?
Yeah. One is spicy, one is non-spicy.
We want non-spicy.
Okay.
I have no idea what it is.
Okay.
Ingredients. So what should I put more? Okay.
One of the master, we call it Rinpoche, he set up this vegetarian hot pot in Tsedang. Tibetans like hot pot very much because of the cold weather and high altitude.
Okay.
So we eat normally hot pot in winter season, not in summer.
Okay, so now it's good time to eat
Yeah,
hot
good
pot.
time. Autumn
Great.
and winter season very good to warm up the body.
Great.
Yeah.
So my hot pot is already cooking up.
Okay, guys, please put some soup like this.
Yes.
Then
So the dinner was very delicious, and it was very cheap, only 36 yuan per person, so that's like $4 or so. And now we're gonna pay. And here in Tibet, but also in general in all of China, you don't pay with cash or with credit cards. You use the app called WeChat. You scan a QR code and then you directly pay for anything. So you scan, now type 76 yuan, and it's paid. You never see any cash, don't use credit cards, so having WeChat or Alipay is an absolute necessity. This is officially day 1 of our Tibetan adventure, and we are starting it by a hike to the oldest palace in Tibet called Yumbulhakan Palace. It's dating all the way back to 5th century. There's this way leading up to it through the stairs, and it's already 3,700 meters, so I can feel every step. But there are really no people.
Yeah, no people.
So we will have the palace all to ourselves.
Yeah.
In every temple here in Tibet, you can find these Tibetan prayer wheels. It's believed that once you spin it clockwise, it will spread positive energy into the world. So that's why all the monks are going in clockwise direction and just spinning the prayer wheels. So let's do it as well. From a small temple there, we traveled to Samye, the oldest Buddhist temple in Tibet, dating all the way back to the 8th century. And it's super interesting to see this after we've been a few months back to Nepal, to Kathmandu, where we also saw many temples, and also we were in Dharamshala in India, where it's like a second Tibet, where there is the 14th Dalai Lama. So we are directly at the palace there, and it's super interesting to now see it from the Tibetan side.
I'm burning Tibetan incense which we collected from the mountains. The meaning of burning incense means purification of negativities around.
Kilový rituální kámen.
No, není to lehké, musím říct. So right now I am doing a Tibetan ritual of carrying a 50-kilo stone on my back.
No to nevím.
We are now climbing to one of the holiest mountains here in this region called Chimpu. There are many caves along the way, and all the way at the top, I don't know if you can see it, all the way there, you can reach a special monastery where more than 200 nuns live in. So women who devoted their lives to practicing yoga and meditation, and they live there their whole life. It's quite difficult to reach. It takes maybe 2 hours, so I'm not sure if we're gonna reach all the way to the top, but we are now 4,200 meters above sea level. So this lady climbs up all the way to the top with a 50-kilo bag on her back. Tashi Delek.
Chimbu Cave has 1,200 years of history, dating back to the Ingden Tandir master, Penmasam Baba. So he meditated over here after the construction of Samya Temple, the first ever Buddhist temple.
We are now at 4,200 meters above sea level. We entered another special meditation cave, as there are many of them on this hill, where one of very famous yogis meditated for. It's beautifully decorated and many people come here to meditate even today.
Buddha image made from clay. Then we put here so that future pilgrims can worship them.
We are back down, and it's insane to think that we were right there at the top. Now we're gonna take a well-deserved rest back in our guest house, and I'm gonna catch up with you tomorrow morning. Good morning. We are now at a high mountain pass at 4,200 meters above sea level, and as you can see, there's a complete fog. It's been raining since the morning, since we woke up. We are supposed to visit Mount Everest tomorrow, but because of the weather, the base camp is currently closed, and so we were thinking if we should do some alternative itinerary, but in the end we decided to still go straight. Now I have at least local Tibetan chai, and we are continuing to Yamdrok Lake. Maybe there will be no view. We will continue the journey, and hopefully the weather will be better. So ladies and gentlemen, we are now at 4,900 meters above sea level. As you can see, it's snowing already, and if I turn the camera here, you can see an absolutely stunning Yamdrok Lake. As you can see, full of mountains. There's the mountain range, the blue turquoise water lake, absolutely stunning. The views like this are what makes a trip to Tibet absolutely worth it. As we drove up towards a mountain pass, there was suddenly more and more snow. It got so heavy that we saw cars and trucks turning around on the road, and we weren't sure we'd be able to get through. But this was the only way to our next destination. If the road was closed, we'd have to drive back many hundreds of kilometers. Drivers kept telling us to turn around, but we still tried to push forward. And then, in the end, the police blocked us and said nobody could go beyond. Okay, so the road is blocked because there's been a huge, very strong snowfall, and it blocked the road completely. So now we have to turn back, and we are driving the same way as we came, and we have to go all the way around. Throughout the last few weeks, there were thousands of people stranded at Mount Everest Base Camps because of heavy snow, and the weather is kind of crazy. Well, the adventure continues because now we decided that it's not worth it to go all the way back, which we came would be a few hundred kilometers more, so we we are trying to go through some small shortcut that our driver and our guide thought about. So now we are driving really in a really remote areas. There aren't even any villages anymore, and it looks very rugged, and we are just praying that the pass which we will have to go through is not blocked, because this will save us about 200 kilometers of driving. So how does it look like? What do they say? Is this the right way? Nobody has any idea where to go. What's the right way? Here are some locals, but no one is sure if we should go back down there or there more up. We're lost. So, there or there? So we go down all the way back. All the way back. So it looks like the whole way was wrong and we need to go back. Oh no! Oh no! I didn't notice before that we have this in the back. Fortunately, we found the right road after all. The weather cleared up and we saw one of the most beautiful landscapes. Snowy mountains all around us, so we decided to climb one of the peaks before reaching our town for the night. Good morning, so it's day 3 of our adventure here in Tibet, and right now we are at a special place. What is this called? This is 5,000 kilometers.
From Shanghai to here, on the one of the most popular highway in Tibet called 318 highway.
Okay, so this road leads all the way from Shanghai. It's called road 318, and here is a 5,000 kilometers mark. So if we would travel back there 5,000 kilometers, we reach Shanghai.
Yeah.
As you already know, there are many very interesting signs here around China and also Tibet, but this is a new one. No killer littering. Well, I don't know what should I imagine this sign means. We have just reached the entrance to Mount Chomolungma National Park, which is, if you don't know, the local name for Mount Everest. So this is the official entrance, and here already the altitude I have to show you, I don't know if you will see it, is 5,250 meters above sea level, meaning here the boiling water temperature is just 82 degrees, and I'm quite lucky so far that I don't feel any effects of the altitude yet, apart from, of course, breathing much more heavily and feeling the effect every step, but I don't have any headaches, anything so far. So this is something that many people encounter and they really fight with it. And if you've never experienced being at this kind of elevation, then it's really hard to describe the effects, because it can go from more mild ones to having kind of dizziness, headache, having to catch your breath at every single step, to even more severe, like really getting embolia and high altitude sickness. When that happens, you have to, as quickly as possible, get evacuated to lower altitudes, put yourself in a pressurized chamber to decrease the altitude. And as you can maybe here, even for me, it's hard to not only talk but to put the sentences together, because here it's hard to even think and it can feel like I'm being kind of drunk. Those are it's actually similar effect. This is really the effects of altitude in action. And this is, if you've never experienced it, it's impossible to describe. You have to experience it yourself until you believe me. But once you experience it, you really start to understand why some mountaineers and climbers who climb 6,000, 7,000 or 8,000 meters mountains get to make some irrational decisions, like something which at a normal altitude would be completely irrational, but there they cannot think, and that's why so many deadly accidents occur. And only at these altitudes you realize that it's actually much easier to do something irrational than you expect. But I'm praying, I'm crossing my fingers that I won't get any serious altitude symptoms, because I already confirmed and tested myself numerous times that my body can handle this high altitude quite well. But this kind of altitude I haven't been to in a few years, so hopefully my body still remembers how it is and how to cope with it. This is the best view, where we can see 8,000ers on the same spot. So which are the ones which we can see?
Yeah, so the name of this mountain pass is called Yaula. This is 5,200 meters above sea level. Normally from this summit we can see the 5 golden peaks of Himalayas. So right there in the more in the west, Mount Shishabama, then that big one is Cho-Oyu. Then somewhere in the middle we have Mount Everest, the highest, and then at the left side of Everest we have Lhotse. Yeah, Lhotse. Then somewhere over here, below the clouds, we have Makalu.
After a few hours, we reached the place, the base camp of Mount Everest. Maybe the highlight of the entire trip. And what's more, we were incredibly lucky, because the base camp had been closed for weeks due to severe snowstorms, and it opened on the exact day we arrived. And the dream became a reality. Behind me is the tallest mountain in the world, Mount Everest, or Chomolungma, with a height of 8,848 meters. And to be honest, I never expected in my life that I will have the chance to see it myself. The fact that you can see it in full glory is absolutely incredible, and the fascinating thing is that this is after many, many days that the base camp was blocked. You couldn't get here because there were very severe snowstorms. Many people were stuck here, then they blocked it, and this is the first time that you can see the Everest in full glory in many days, so we are extremely, extremely lucky. And the incredible thing also is that about 2 weeks ago there was an expedition on this north side, the north face of Mount Everest, which climbed all the way to the top, which is considered the hardest route you can get to on the top of Mount Everest. And then one guy actually skied down the whole route, which was the first achievement of its kind in the world, to ski the hardest route in the world, and it was just about 2 weeks ago. So it's insane to now see it like this, and to be honest, I have no idea how it's even possible, because from video it maybe doesn't seem, but the Mount Everest is really like this. Now I'm gonna enjoy the scenery, because that's something insane, and I've never expected to see it with my own eyes, the tallest mountain in the world. So we spent the night here at the Rongbuk Monastery guest house, and sleeping at this altitude of more than 5,000 meters has a great toll on the body. See, my sleep score is just 41. I had HRV of 37, and it was one of the worst sleeps in the last few months, so definitely it's not easy to be sleeping here. Your body will probably never get used to it. And this is the highest monastery in the world. Height 5,200 meters, and in the background there's Mount Everest. After saying goodbye to Mount Everest, we continued further into the western part of Tibet. The pristine nature all around us was just incredible. Some of the most beautiful landscapes I've ever seen. 7,000 and 8,000 meter peaks, incredible lakes everywhere, vast emptiness, absolutely incredible. Tashidelek. Going through the Tibetan Plateau, you are stopping almost every few kilometers, because right now we stop along the road, and there behind me is Cho Oyu, one of the tallest 8,000 meter peaks. It's just breathtaking. Only here you realize the true scale of the mountains. We are having our lunch, as you can see, and for our lunch we have something as usual these past few days. It's always this kind of noodle soup combined with some tofu. There are vegetables, rice. I had chai, which I already drink, and it's honestly quite good compared to the Chinese cuisine, which we usually have. Here it's less fried and it's really delicious. So outside it's very cold, so at least this will get me a bit warm. By now, we were driving at altitudes of more than 5,000 meters, temperatures around -10, and even rivers completely frozen. So we took a short walk, literally in the middle of nowhere. We teleported to Iceland, because as you can see behind me, there's a big geyser in this geothermal area at 5,100 meters above sea level. I'm really not sure if I'm in Iceland or in Tibet. It kind of reminds me also a place in Bolivia, in Altiplano Plateau, where at around 4,500 meters above sea level you can also find this kind of geothermal area. So it's a bit similar, but again, we're in Tibet, and seeing this out here is just surreal. Let's try the water. If it's really hot, definitely really hot. But it's nice because right now it's -7, so this is very nice to warm up your hands. What's the name of this lake? Because it looks incredible.
So now we are at the famous Changdang Plateau of Tibet. Changdang means the vast vegetation and grassland at the northern part of Tibet. So around here in the Changdang Plateau, we have the largest and biggest nomadic lifestyle of Tibet. So here we can see the glaciers lined up, and then this is one of the local famous lake in Changdang region. One of the also deepest and crystal clear blue sky looking lake over here. It's a local lake.
It looks absolutely incredible, like from another planet. The endless blue water with the peaks that are like 6,000 or 7,000 meters. It's just insane. It's a very, very remote part of Tibet, in the western northern part of Tibet, but these views are absolutely worth it. I thought we had already reached the highest point of the trip at Everest Base Camp, but after this lake, we kept climbing, up and up and up, until we reached a pass at 5,500 meters. We have unexpectedly just reached the new record here in Tibet when we came to this mountain pass, and the official altitude, if you can see it, is 5,570 meters. So actually, that's just 70 meters shy of my all-time record, which I did in Chile, in Atacama, many years ago. There I reached an altitude of 5,640 meters, and we were thinking to reach the mountain up here to make a new record, but there is so much snow that it's kind of impossible. So we will at least walk here for a while, and the views are just stunning. Guys, just 10 meters remains until we reach 5,600. The breathing is horrible. 8. And we have reached 5,600 meters in these snowy peaks and mountains. And to tell you, it's already very difficult to breathe, and it really reminds me of our adventure in Atacama Desert, where we reached 5,640. Now we won't go any further because it's really cold and we don't have ideal shoes, but nevertheless, this is incredible. Before we head out in a few moments to explore other parts of Western Tibet, I wanted to briefly talk about my experience of being here, especially being at this kind of altitude. Because right now it's, I think, 4,700 meters above sea level, and at this kind of altitude we've been now for the past few days, I think almost 5 or 6 days now, and to be honest, it's not as easy as I thought it would be. My body is really having some difficulties. My sleep has been totally wrecked. In fact, I think I've never had as bad sleep as these past few days. My oxygen blood levels are also very low, around only 80 or 85%. And the worst part about being at this kind of altitude is that, as you probably know, when there's a risk of high altitude sickness, once you feel any symptoms, usually you can just climb down. You will just climb down to 3,000, 2,000 meters, and then you will suddenly feel better. But right here, because we are on Tibetan Plateau, the average elevation is 4,500 meters, and you basically cannot go anywhere. Even if you feel sick, you have no other option than just to stay at that altitude, because even going to Lhasa will take 10 or maybe 20 hours, and even Lhasa is 3,600 meters above sea level, so it's not that much better. So literally, you cannot escape this high altitude. Now, it's time to head out to explore even more beauty of Tibet, and hopefully my body will get a bit more used to the altitude. So, should we go straight or to the left?
Or back.
Or back? That's the question. Left or right? Yeah, nobody knows. Guys, this lake is absolutely stunning, but there's such a strong wind that I'm not even sure you're gonna hear me. But these incredible mountains, like 6,000, 7,000 meters, the lake stretches out all the way. So huge. We just got to a local Tibetan restaurant in the middle of nowhere and we got a menu. So what shall we choose? I think I would go for this one, and as a small side dish, this. What do you want?
I want this and extra double.
Okay, so we will see what we will got. Let's put the order. To end the day, we came to yet another fascinating lake, surrounded by very high mountains of 6,000 or 7,000 meters. It's sunset now, and that's actually very interesting because if you didn't know, China as an entire country and even Tibet has one single time zone, meaning that if you are, for example, let's say in Beijing, which is quite to the east, the sunset is at like 5 p.m. But now here in Tibet, the sunset is at 7:30 p.m., meaning 1.5 hours or 2.5 hours later. And if you go all the way to the west to like Xinjiang province, their sunset can be at like 8 or even 9 p.m. So China is a huge country and it should have like 4 or even 5 time zones, but it has only one. And now with the sun coming down from behind the mountain, it really looks beautiful. After waking up, we were ready for our final day on the Tibetan Plateau. After a few hours' drive, we reached another gorgeous lake called Namtso, sitting at 4,500 meters, and honestly, it seemed more like a sea than a lake because of the huge waves and strong winds. We have just reached Namtso Lake. It's so windy, but nevertheless, this is one of the biggest and most beautiful lakes in Tibet. It's at an elevation of 4,700 meters, and right on the other side there are glaciers and big, very tall mountains.
We are at Lake Namtso, and right now we are seeing many caves used by different Buddhist masters at different periods. And this is a holy rocky mountain, and this is the medicine Buddha's Nirvana.
Okay.
So inside we have cave of Padmasambhava, the Indian Mandir master who came to Tibet in 8th century, 1,200 years ago. Fossil that the monks found from the lake. So it's very interesting. Here.
Oh,
yeah.
That's very old.
Very old. It's a fossil. So the monk told me that before this is white in color. So now it's changing into green color. Yep.
Oh. And from Namtso, we headed back towards Lhasa, the capital of Tibet. With this, our 10-day Tibetan adventure was slowly coming to an end. It was funny arriving in Lhasa, which sits at 3,600 meters. I felt as if I'd never breathed so much oxygen in my life. So rich air, breathing fully suddenly. Well, 10 days at 4,500 meters and more, and then suddenly 3,600 feels very low. We had a brief time in Lhasa too, to explore the old town and see the famous Potala Palace. Kind of a shock to be back in civilization. But honestly, compared to the Tibetan nature we witnessed over the past 10 days, it was nice but incredibly busy and modernized, so it didn't leave much of an impression on me. Funnily enough, as we were walking through the city, there was a local school trip going on, and once they'd noticed me, immediately I became the biggest attraction. Yeah. Yeah. One, two, And with that, our trip came to an end.
Yeah.
All the best.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
We have experienced 10 days in one of the most mysterious regions of the world. 10 days of 7 and 8,000 meter peaks everywhere around you. Tibetan culture, stunning nature, and very nice people. Being at 4,500 meters and higher for this long wasn't easy, but absolutely worth it. I believe you enjoyed this trip with me as much as I did, and I hope I will have the chance to return to Tibet one day.